We're here with Coach Weiss, and we want to talk to you about the OC Blues official charity, Soccer for Hope. First of all, just tell us, what is the Soccer for Hope's mission, and also how did it come about?
Soccer for Hope, we want to give back to children with life-threatening illnesses. It was founded 19 years ago. It's about the mission to give back, make a difference in the community. And we have first-class professional players on the field, and we also want to be first-class professional ambassadors on the field to make a difference. So Soccer for Hope is the official charity of the Orange County Blues, and all the credit goes to our players who have embraced it so dramatically well.
And you've taken it not only with your own players, but outside of that to players at the college level and the youth level as well. How do you integrate those players and teach them that lesson at such an early age that they're not just soccer players, but they're members of this community as well that need to be a part of it and be fully immersed in Orange County?
Well, I think educating young men and young women to be philanthropic and to make a difference in the community is very, very important fact. So being able to teach it through soccer, is it through a soccer camp, through a soccer game, through a coaching education, to awareness? We want to do it all. And ultimately we want for these players or these young people to go out there and then make the difference in their community. So being able to bring it onto the youth level, from the high school level, into the college level, now into the professional level, is very, very gratifying for us.
And last year's camp and inspirational walk raised over $25,000. Tell us what you got on tap for this summer.
Well, we're going to do the same. It's going to be our 19th year of our camp and our inspiration walk, and obviously we have other fundraisers as well. We just had an awareness game where two college teams, Cal State Fulton and LMU women, put on for us, and we will probably raise again $25,000 through the camp. And overall, we're now close to almost raised $3 million in the last 19 years, which all go directly back to pediatric cancer research and family support.
And most of that money goes to City of Hope, right?
No, actually, we do. We give it to many different charities, mainly children's hospitals, the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, opposite Children's Hospital of Orange County. But we have given it to over 30 institutions nationwide where we feel they make a difference for the children in the community, and also organizations and family that truly need all the support they can get if they're struggling or going through a disease and dealing with it.
And what is the website you can go to learn more about Soccer for Hope?
It's soccerforhope.org. And obviously click on there, let us know if you want to be part of it. Simply, it's to give back, and please embrace it like the Orange County Blues organization, its players and staff has, and you can make a huge difference in your community.
Well, Coach Oliver Weiss, thank you for not only everything you do for the Blues, but for the community as well.
Thank you very much, Mark. See you soon.
Evan, on behalf of the entire Orange County Blues FC organization
and the rest of your teammates,
offside! We want to thank you for your ongoing support
and your generosity for supplying us with the tins and all the wonderful words you be sending us every time. We just want to keep the fight going for you most of all, and whenever you need any words of encouragement, we're always here to help you.
You inspire us. Thank you for everything you do. Keep on fighting and continue to lead us to our next win tomorrow night against the Portland Timbers. Yes, guys.
Woo!
Thank you.
1, 2, 3.
Evan! Very good.
Stretched out to the middle, back to
Broke it up.
Welcome to Anteater Stadium, where the Orange County Blues and the Seattle Sounders, too, are getting set to square off for their only meeting of the 2016 season. Mark Serber alongside Amani Walker. And Amani, the Blues are coming off a huge point in Colorado.
Yeah, it was massive. You can almost consider it a win, more than really a draw. First points taken off of Colorado at home this season, but the way they did it, 97th minute with a PK late after having a man sent off, playing with 10 men, it just shows the incredible resiliency of this team and how they're willing to fight every minute of the game, no matter how long or how short, how many men they have. They really can look to build on this win.
And Oliver Weiss said the exact same thing. He said he loved that his side not only never gave up, but they never abandoned their game plan. The fact that they truly believed in it, stuck to it, and in the end were rewarded for it with that point. He said it reminded them of the point gained in round 17 last year in Oklahoma City, which started that long unbeaten run, which led your ascent up the table to winning the Western Conference. What do you remember about that point, and what do you remember about the momentum that it gave to you guys?
Well, it's just massive. Those were the dog days of summer. I think it was 11 games in 29 days, 30 games, something crazy where you're at the end of it. You really don't want to get up every single day for another game, traveling back and forth all the way out to Oklahoma, Colorado, but you still have to put in the work. You still have to do something to get a result out of the game. That Oklahoma draw was massive because I think we won about 10 games or something unbeaten. After that, going to win the Western Conference. I'm sure Oliver Weiss, Barry Venison, the entire Blues staff, technical playing staff, will want to continue on and use this momentum and move themselves forward like they did last year.
And they're coming up against an S2 side that lost 1-0 in a Cascadia derby against the Portland Timbers too, but there were times where they looked really menacing.
Yeah, their record doesn't show what they are about at all this year. Most academy, MLS teams in the USL, they have such a wealth and such a huge depth in their squad that it doesn't win this year doesn't really show what they're about on paper. They're so fast, they're so young, technically gifted. I'm expecting the Blues to really have some trouble here today at times, but if they take care of business, I think the Blues can come away with another win.
Well, it's a very important game tonight for both teams. Need to get 3 points, begin their ascendancies up the table as we inch closer till that midway point of the USL season. Well, one player who's been back in training for the last few weeks and who could possibly feature tonight, now we're still waiting for the team news, but he's on the cusp of making his return, is Chino Santana, and we got a chance to catch up with him earlier this week. We're here with Christopher Chino Santana, and first of all, it's good to see you back out on the field. How are you feeling?
Feel good. A little sore right now. Just got done with training. I feel like my strength is back, just trying to get my fitness back and trying to get back rolling so I can play hopefully maybe this weekend, but for sure the Arizona game.
That was the next question I was going to ask is you're back in full training. How likely is it that you could feature against S2? Obviously it's the coach's decision, but how are you feeling getting toward full fitness?
I feel good. Like I said, my strength is back. It's more my fitness and seeing how many minutes I can provide the team and quality minutes. I've talked to the coaches, and depending on how it goes this week, they'll decide whether they want me to play me on Saturday, just a couple minutes. But right now we're aiming for Arizona.
And how are you feeling technically on the ball?
I feel good. First couple of days it's a little hard. You lose a lot of your first touch is probably the thing that loses the most. But I feel good. There's some passes, 5-yard passes that I messed up today, but other than that, I feel good.
And obviously you'd want to be, working week in and week out to get into the team, but being injured, you've kind of had an outsider's perspective. What have you seen so far from the Blues this season?
I think we're doing a good job of keeping the ball, which is important, and I like that style a lot, which means we're going to have the ball a lot when we come back. We just got to score goals. We've had opportunities. We just got to finish them, and hopefully when I come back, we can start scoring some more goals.
And off camera, we've watched you come in from when you were on the boot to getting onto 2 feet to getting back into full training. Yeah. And you've really been diligent about it. Being a professional, I know it's really hard to be out, but what was the advice that you would offer to youngsters who get hurt, who have a long process into getting back into playing? Do you have any advice for them and how to handle it, both on and off the field and mentally as well?
Yeah, you got to stay fit. I rode the bike with my hand. I hate it as much as I do, but you got to do a little work to keep you when you come back and it's easier to get back in the game. You don't want to lose your fitness. Just gotta stay patient. You can't rush into things. I know, like 2 weeks ago, I wanted to start training, but the doctors, Robert, all of them, just told me just stay patient. It just takes time, and you just gotta wait it out, and it happens. It's part of the sport, but I mean, stay patient, stay persistent. You're gonna come back, and yeah, I mean, that's it.
And what are you looking most forward to about getting back on the field?
That feeling of getting nervous again. I know, like, going into the games, just watching, it's a different feeling than actually playing and being part of it. I mean, I'm just as nervous watching it, but it's a little better when you can go out there and do something about it. I just want to start playing, and hopefully, I mean, maybe this weekend or the following, but I just want to get back on.
Well, thank you so much for your time. We're so glad to see you back in full training, and we can't wait to see you in the games.
Thank you so much.
We're live here at Anteater Stadium as the Orange County Blues are getting set to take on S2. Mark Serber alongside Amani Walker. And Amani, as we look at the starting lineup for the Orange County Blues, no Ivan Mirkovic tonight, suspended because of his red card against Switchbacks FC. But the big news is Christian Silva getting his first start of the season.
Yeah, and I expect big things from him. He's a great player. He's coming off a year-long injury, and it's so sad to see. But I know he's happy and excited to finally get into the starting lineup to be able to prove himself once again in this NSL or in the USL, excuse me. And to this OC Blues family, that he's here to stay, and he's going to make a name for himself in that midfield role along with Popora tonight.
And Joshua Cohen keeps his place in goal after a fine performance against Colorado Springs.
Yeah, he's such a young, quick, fast, strong goalkeeper, and he has a whole world ahead of him. And I'm really, really excited to see him here making his first start tonight here at home at Anteater Stadium in Irvine. And he's such a good person on top of that, I'm really hoping he does well. And from what I've seen before, I know he will.
And as we take a look at the Seattle Sounders FC2 lineup, they have two very good forwards, and Andy Craven and Victor Mansoret.
Yeah, they're so quick, technically gifted. They can score goals almost at will. If Brenton Griffiths and Plunka don't take care of stuff tonight, they might have a lot on their hands.
Let's now listen in on the national anthem. On the verge of kickoff between the Orange County Blues and S2, Mark Serber alongside Amani Walker. And Amani, we would be remiss if we didn't talk about Mark Ochang in the midfield, the 19-year-old, already 2 caps for Cameroon.
Yeah, I mean, that's incredible, isn't it? What kind of experiences that he has, and he can tell, but also the amount of talent that he brings to an S2 side like this, and just makes him so much more dangerous on the field, but really in the locker room as a young guy who's had that amount of experience. He can really help those along with him and be a leader at such a young age. So I'm excited to see what he has in store for us tonight.
And you talk about the Orange County Blues midfield. Well, a wealth of choices. They say it's one of their best headaches to have the coaching staff of the Blues.
Yeah, well, you have, when healthy, you have just about 10 players who can play every 6, 8, 7, 11, number 10 role. I mean, it is a great problem to have, but it's about finding the right medley. The right concoction that'll work game in and game out. And if somebody gets injured, somebody gets tired, somebody needs a break, being able to have the next one step up, plug them into place, and not lose any drop in level and productivity. And so far this year, I mean, I think they've rotated 8 different guys throughout that midfield making a start. And as we have Christian Silva, Nikola Ilic, a couple more people here tonight making the start, I just know the level won't drop, and they'll continue to possess the ball and move it at will.
Oliver Weiss was looking on as the Blues were going through their final paces. S2 are in their huddle. The Rave Green have switched to white for this match as the away team. These two sides went 1-1 last year. Nothing to separate them. We'll see what this year holds. Orange County looking for a win to propel themselves into the playoff spots, while S2 looking for a win to get off the bottom of the Western Conference table. This is a team that has the potential to shoot way up. As Ezra Hendrickson told me earlier this week, it's just that last moment, the final third in front of goal, where they've been struggling. They've been working on it a lot in training, working really hard to get their finishers relaxed and composed. And he feels like once they get that down, they're going to be off and running.
Well, why do you think they paid Kun Agüero, Luis Suarez? Jamie Varney had such a great year. He's about to make a move maybe within the next couple of days. They paid those people so much money because that's the most important part of the game. You can do everything up to that point, but if you cannot connect a final pass, if you cannot finish the ball at the end of any segment, any play, then it's all for naught. So it's the hardest part of soccer, and that's plain and simple. So the S2 being so close on the verge, they're going to want to break through here tonight to really put their stamp. I mean, only 5 points separate the two teams, but they've had two completely different seasons. So as we get started here, expect both to attack, and try to put a stamp on their game within the first 15 minutes or so.
Well, the Orange County Blues will kick off attacking to your right, while S2 will be charging to the left. As we are all set for kickoff here at Anteater Stadium, Michael Zapata is your man in the middle. He's checking his watch. And we are underway in the only meeting of the 2016 USL season between the Orange County Blues and S2. And it's Bacciello chasing, but it's going to go out for a goal kick. And Charlie Lyon in goal for S2. And splitting time this year with Tyler Miller.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think just them being, a USL squad that's so young, just trying to get experience for both sides of the goalkeepers just to see, who can step up and be the primary number one.
Plunka. Oh, and a missed touch from Griffiths. And spotting the keeper off his line, but shooting well wide. And the Blues, a real let-off there.
Yeah, that's just a little misstep, that's all. A mental breakdown, but I don't expect anything to really come of that. He won't do that again.
Griffiths will get another bite of it. This time much sharper with his touch, and not a bad outlet ball either. Bierman brings it down, but out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for S2. It's going to be Tolo to take, who, just like Ojong, joined from Rainbow FC in Cameroon this season. And there was a loose touch in the back, but the Blues just weren't pressed up high enough. Line pushing everyone up in the second minute. And this is Devon Fisher.
Great ball.
Beautiful ball through. Cohen well off his line, and he gets there before Craven. And such awareness from the keeper to drop it as he slid out of the box.
Yeah, that was great awareness. Didn't want to have a handball there in the first minute of the game, and was able to just push it as Bierman now is set free by Pavle.
That's tremendous defending on the far side, though, by Tolo. And the 18-year-old gets it forward. Mansoret, leading scorer with 2 goals on the season, making the run. But Plunka's over and cover, and safety first from the center back. So a chance for S2 to get more bodies forward here, as Fisher will take the throw. In his second season out of VCU, Fisher. Craven looking to turn. Leaves it off for Mathers. And that almost worked out from the Duke man. He was trying to shoot. That's going to go out for a throw-in, but a little less zip on that. You can control that on the far side. You're in business.
Yeah, that was a. He didn't know if he wanted to shoot or cross it, but it almost did work out and find the left mid over there. But S2 is just putting on pressure and has the ball now again in the box.
Well, it's a very sharp start from S2 as they're on the prowl once again. That's a nice ball clipped to the back post, and the flag stayed down, but it will go out for a goal kick. You can hear Barry Venison all the way up here in the press box trying to get his players to wake up.
Yeah, I mean, it would start with the most simple ball over here into the channel from Mansoure, and S2 kept it in the box for the next 2 minutes with throw-ins and crosses and everything. Blues just need to wake up, clear their lines quickly, but more importantly, keep possession in the offensive third.
Here's Bierman, and Tolo doesn't let him by. Only as far as McCracken, the only player to play every minute this season for the Blues. And that's going to be a good battle on this near side, is Bierman versus Tolo.
Yeah, I mean, Bierman's just so skillful, such a hard work rate, and you can already tell Tolo is matched toe-to-toe with him. So it's going to be about who's clever enough in their runs and skill, technique, and, you know, who just wins the will battle on the day.
Little chest back from Popera. Now he brings it down. Nice skill from the Serbian, but he's unable to get it to Kritinan. And S2 will retake. Good pressure from the Blues and allows them to win it back in the middle through Popera. Kritinan helps it on. And Tolo unable to keep it in bounds, so it's going to be a throw-in for the Blues. 5th minute of play, and still no score between S2 and the Blues, as both teams have worked it into the box but have been unable to find that final product. Still early days here, though.
Yeah, and both teams are just trying to get a feel for the game and for the intensity that the other team is bringing, but you already can tell that they both are looking to put the ball in behind quickly and early and then press the back line like Popera looked like he did there. Gets the foul out of it as well.
That's a great job by the Blues. Popera wins it, but it takes the whole team to press like that.
Yeah, you just have to be in the right spots, in the right channels, cutting off angles, passing lanes, and be able to step in when the right time is there, as Popera did. Wins the free kick. Now it looks like Muse is stepping over it with his left foot, and don't be surprised if he wants to go on goal.
Muse with a goal and 2 assists in his last 3 games. The Belgian certainly licking his chops here, although we know he can also flight in a delightful little ball.
Look for Bocello over here in the back post.
And Muse going for glory. Shot was always rising, and it's going to be a goal kick for S2 in the 6th minute of play. Well, why not have a go from there? You're in the right distance.
Yeah, but you want to also get it on target. Lion hasn't had to make a save yet, and you want to, put something in his hand, see how shaky it is, and just make him nervous.
A good skill. No foul, says the referee, and the Blues are able to press on. And Pavle Popera slipped as he was shooting it. He gets another chance. Out wide, good cross from Illich. Something still might be on here for the Blues. Kritinan floats it across. Falls for Illich again. He has a crack, and this time Lion does have to get down and make the save. Cleared only as far as Silva. Helped on by McCracken. And a good sliding tackle from McCracken. Otherwise, that would have been S2 off on the counterattack.
With 2 great balls, though, from Illich. And first one, the cross, and the second one, a shot. Somebody needs to get across the near post. Somebody needs to sacrifice their body, try to win that, especially this early. Put the S2 on their back heel. As Bocello has a great turn.
Bacciello just firing past the near post. Oh, that was a nice little ball played into him, as there's an S2 player down. And Barry Venison told me last night, he said, look, we're doing a real disservice by not getting good balls into Bacciello, because Bacciello does so well to always work hard to close down, to create space by running in the channels. We need to repay him by getting him the ball.
Yeah, any good center forward needs service. You can't do it by yourself. You're up there by yourself, especially when you're playing in a 4-2-3-1 like OC Blues FC play. But that little ball, just a ball into feet, let them turn, get something out, even if it's not on target. It makes the back line think, and it makes them have to make a decision. And that's the biggest thing that you want in this type of situation. Now Bocello gets it into his feet again, plays it back, makes a turn the other way. At least it keeps the defenders guessing, and it really keeps him involved in the game.
The S2 player looks to be all right, as he's being checked on by Joe Montgomery.
No.
You can see what Mansoure thought of the challenge. One thing Ezra Hendrickson told me was that he wants his side to be more physical. Have these been plays where the Blues are just out-muscling them, or should they have been fouls called from the referee?
Well, it's such a hard one. The referee's in the closest position to make that decision, but it's a man's game as well. You can't be so soft in challenges. You have to be able to hold your own, stand your ground. Ezra's right, and especially with a young team like this, it's only going to get tougher and tougher and tougher as they move on and gain more and more experience playing professionally.
Mius to Crittenden, and Craven steps in. Good work from the first ever S2 player to make his way up to the MLS side. Played in 3 games last year before suffering a meniscus injury in training. 8th appearance for S2 this season for Craven. However, he's beaten by Illich here. And the Blues looking to recycle their runs. They're going to have to go all the way back to their keeper, as it was a good job by Mansaray to close down. 19-year-old has represented the USA at the U18 level and is probably expecting a call-up pretty soon from either the U19 or the U20 bosses. Mius rides the challenge from Craven. And this time it's Craven who wins the battle. Mathers. His first team all ACC at Duke last year with 8 goals and 8 assists, Mathers. Now leads S2 with 15 shots on the season.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. We have a birthday party joining us tonight. Celebrating his 13th birthday. Please give a round of applause to Michael Pierce. Happy birthday, Michael.
Plumke. Mius. 2 players who will feature in our awesome halftime segment on Euro 2016. Blues have plenty of players whose countries are being represented in that tournament in France later this month, and we talked about it. So stay with us at halftime for that. But now it's S2 on the charge. And it was a good idea. Hold up that ball and let your outside back and Devon Fisher get forward. But in the end, the pass just a bit too far in front of him.
Yeah, but he'd want to do a lot better than that. You have to keep the ball. S2 has been, have gotten themselves out, but haven't got out in the last 8 minutes or so. They haven't really kept a steady piece of possession. So I know Ezra Hendrickson over there is not liking that ball, and he really wants his team to get on the ball and be able to move forward and dictate the pace of this game a little bit.
And will the Blues face the barrage in the first minute and a half or so? After Venison got up off the bench, they've really woken up.
Yeah, well, that's not the way they, planned to come out. It was just too soft, not enough good tackles, not enough clearances, not mentally sharp enough. Popera plays the ball into the box, it's cleared away. They just want to keep working and get that ball forward, get into their half, and then keep possession like they are right now.
But it was much sharper since then, no?
Of course. The hardest part of the game is the first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes of each half. They weren't sharp in that first 2 minutes, and they've really picked it up since then. And now they've maintained possession for the past 8 minutes on and off.
Textbook defending from Fisher. Gets it over for Craven. Takes the space. Really eating up grass, Craven, but a bit of a heavy touch as Plunkett comes over and mops up. The 22-year-old German came through the Borussia Mönchengladbach Academy, and Barry Venison told me he is so excited. He said if Plunkett continues to train and learn with the verve and vigor that he brings every single day, then he can have a really exciting career, that he's very excited to see this young kid progress.
When they started him playing as a central defensive midfielder here and stepped into that center back role where he's much more comfortable at, and he's done such a superb job, especially partnered with Brendan Griffiths.
Mius, that's a great ball in. And good last-ditch defending again from S2. Bacciello slow to get up. S2 working their way down the far side. Mansaray, little touch off for Craven. Tries to return the favor, but Plunka steps in again. Silva. He'll be that link between defense and midfield. So good to see Silva out there getting his first start today.
Yeah, and he's done well. He's kept it simple so far, not doing anything too crazy as he's get his game legs back, as they say. So expect him to get more and more involved as the game moves on.
Bacciello was checking in and Muse played it behind him. Now Griffiths has to retreat. Mansouri picks his pocket. Oh, good idea from Mansouri, but it was well read as it's Blunka who's there again. Crittenden wins the free kick for Orange County. So we're heading into the 14th or the 15th minute rather. What do you see so far, Amani?
The Blues have really settled in more so than S2 have, which was to be expected just based on the midfield and how good we've seen the Blues. But that's not to say S2 hasn't been dangerous. They've been very steady in defense and not letting the Blues go forward with too much ease. And we see, Mansouri has gotten in a couple times, and I would like to see him do a little bit better with that ball he held up and won from Griffiths there. But S2 is dangerous, and as much as the lion's share possession that the Blues want to have, they still need to be careful about counterattacks coming from S2.
Finally brought down after a bit of head tennis. Crittenden looking to break. Bacciello was trying to hold his run along the line. It's Muse who joins the party. Leaves it off for the 30-year-old. And Crittenden was looking for the free kick there, and he's going to get called for a handball.
Crittenden's not happy about that. He really thought he got fouled, but it's hard how much contact was there and how much he was looking for it. But it's good counterattack by the Blues, but a ball needs to be put into a channel there. Just put everybody going back to their own goal, or Crittenden needs to hold that ball a little bit better. But so it goes. He doesn't get the foul he wants, but the Blues already have it back.
Fisher gets there before Illich. And comes all the way back to John. Leaves it off for Lyon. Oh, Nelson putting John in an uncomfortable situation. And Popara takes advantage. Into Crittenden. Well shielded off the ball by John.
Yeah, but I've started with pressure from Crittenden and Bacciello. Ball get put into John he wasn't comfortable with. Goes to attack with Illich. Popara wins it, but John gets right back up on his feet. Is right there. Is able to shepherd that ball into his goalkeeper Lyon. But S2 is just showing signs of instability, not making very good decisions when they're on the ball, especially in the back. And the Blues need to capitalize on that soon before S2 figures it out.
Bacciello gets it back. Well struck, but right at Lyon. That's a great hit from Illich, and we saw him last year score on a volley just like that.
Sweet left foot he has. So technically skilled and gifted he is when he's on the ball, and you can tell by that strike, knee height, from 35 yards out, stays right there the whole time.
Blunke pushed into the corner by Mathers. Mius gives it up to Mansouri. Good skill from the 19-year-old, but Mius does enough, and he shepherds it out of bounds for a Blues goal kick in the 18th minute.
Yeah, Mius got lucky there. Mansouri really bailed him out when he started doing all the stepovers and tricks there. Mansouri is stronger there, just goes at it, tries to get something with somebody in the box, 1-2 combination or even a shot on goal. And we're talking about a whole new thing with Mius. But credit to him for recovering, shielding that ball out for a goal kick, and danger is averted.
Cleared away by Fisher. Put right back in the midfield by Griffiths. Loose touch from Silva. Craven floats it to the near side. Headed away by McCracken. And bought down by Tolu. Good job by Brandon John. Craven checks into the pocket of space and leaves it off for Schweitzer. Over to the far side where Nelson was unable to deal with it, but it will be a throw for S2. Get into the game through the USL social media channels. Follow the USL on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for news, live game updates, and video highlights from across the league. Muse swings it in, but behind Bjurman, who came in from that right-hand side. It'll be a throw-in for McCracken. Bjurman has time to pick out his pass. Dinks it to the far post, just over the head of Illich. Would you like to see Illich touch that one time inside for Crittenden?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to be upset at anybody trying to pit a skill, especially in the offensive third. But to his credit, they got the ball back, and now he's playing Crittenden in quickly along that inline.
Bacciello's there to force the clearance out of bounds for a Blues throw in deep in S2's end. So we head into the 21st minute here at Anteater Stadium in a game where S2 had the upper hand in the opening exchanges, but after about 3 minutes, the Blues looked the more likelier team to get the game's opening goal, as it's another dangerous ball in. And a good idea to head it back across goal, but behind everyone, and it's cleared out all the way to Plunka. Griffiths. Good skill from the Jamaican. Popara gets it inside. Bjurman. McCracken lets it roll out for the throw-in. Popara. Looking for Bacciello over his head. And line will claim. Line pushing everyone forward. Craven. Schweitzer. Mansarai's header falls for Illich, stabbed away by Devon Fisher, but it will be a throw-in for the Blues. Amani, what do the Blues have to do here to find the breakthrough? They seem to be getting the ball in deep on the wings and getting off crosses.
Well, they just have to get off more crosses, and they have to have runners in the box. Somebody always has to be going across the near post to the across the goalkeeper, just to pull people out.
That's a great ball as Illich just snuck inside.
Ooh.
And that's a heavy challenge, but a fair one, says the referee. Illich weaving his way into the box. Cleared only as far as Popara. And he clips it in, but right at Lyon.
Good opportunity there, though. Tolo did such a good job of getting back, and apparently a fair tackle on Illich to kind of slow that counterattack down, and the Blues weren't able to capitalize on top of that.
Well, Tolo's a player that they rate very highly in the Sounders organization. You get the feeling that they expect him to be in the MLS side, if not by the end of this year, next year for sure.
Well, he's young and he's strong, has a lot of speed, and obviously a lot of skill that it's only a matter of time before he can move up to, whatever level of potential that he can. And if those in the Sounders organization feel that's playing with the first team this year, then great. I think the earlier you get those kind of experiences day in and day out, the better.
Michael Zapata, the man in the middle, saying that ball was moving as Popara tried to take it quickly. So it'll be take two for the Blues, and this time they'll move players forward, and Griffiths is getting set to take it. Popara back in the starting lineup after missing the game in Colorado against Switchbacks FC due to yellow card accumulation.
Yeah, it was probably, good. It was fitness-wise, he played a lot of minutes. You don't want to ever miss a game, especially when you have too many yellow cards, you're suspended. But in the long run, it might help him to get a little rest for as the season now goes on, and they have a lot of games coming up soon all over the country.
Good movement from Crittenden. Popara rolls it along the carpet to Bierman. McCracken on the overlap. Back to Bierman. Did well to save it. Popara skipping past Patino. But the Blues will hit the reset button in the 25th minute. And good job by Griffiths. He knew he had to go hard there after Mathers applied the original pressure.
Yeah, he just wanted to kick that ball off of I think it was Patino over there, I think, just to get the throw in and get himself out of a little bit of trouble.
This time Mansoure wins the free kick. Mathers wants to take it quickly. Gets it out wide to Fisher. Good job by Cohen to call off all comers, as he claims. That's another area for the Blues where they have an embarrassment of riches. Barry Venison saying it's a nice problem to have. The only reason that Cohen hadn't gotten a game before the U.S. Open Cup and then against Switchbacks FC was because Brandon Miller had been playing so well.
Yeah, and when you have the reigning goalkeeper of the year on your squad, it's hard not to put him as your number one and play him every game. But Cohen has now gotten his opportunity and shown that he can compete with the best goalkeepers in this league, let alone the country. And this is his third game that he started, and we can expect to see a lot of good things out of the goalkeepers here at the OC Blues.
And we saw this last year from him. He only got one game in the USL, but it was the penultimate game against WFC2 in which you guys got that tie up in Vancouver to help you go on and have a chance to ultimately grab the Western Conference Championship, as Griffiths with a very important touch there. And it will go behind for the first corner kick of the game, and it goes to the visitors from the Great Northwest.
But like you're saying in your point, it was, Josh, we knew how good he was last year. This ball gets whipped in here to back post.
And the Blues wanted a free kick. Instead, it's going to be the second corner kick for S2.
It looked like he was getting, manhandled there by John on the back post. I think it was, I don't know if it was a Plunka, as they're now kind of tussling in the box there. Plunka's with Mansour. I think Jackson McCracken might have been with John there, but you have to be able to play big boy soccer now and deal with it. With the cross that came in, I don't know if it really did come off of a Blues player for the corner, and now we have a second one here as the referee still works out all the tension in the box.
Mathers' service, it's a good one. Blues able to get it away. Not quite out of danger yet as Tolo heads it back out wide for Mathers. Looking for that half yard of space to get the cross off, but it's blocked by Illich. Another corner for S2. Nike is a proud partner of the USL. Follow @Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information. Mathers, take two for S2 from this near side and headed downwards, and easy in the end for Josh Cohen, but the Blues escaped there as it was a free header for Andy Craven.
Yeah, he was completely free. It looked like it was a little pick play in the middle there. but Craven's completely free. You'd want to do a lot better. He got it on target, but being that free and that header coming around, you expected a player of his caliber to challenge Cohen a bit more.
Mather's still looking, or excuse me, Craven's still looking for his opening goal of the season after scoring 5 last year in 14 appearances. So this time Craven has whistled for a foul on the far side. Zapata sticking to the letter of the law, saying the ball has to be stopped dead. The fans enjoying themselves on a beautiful night here in Orange County. Still zeros on the scoreboard in the 29th minute. And space to operate for S2. Sent to the near side for Patino. 20-year-old Colombian brings it down. Riding McCracken. McCracken stuck to his task well, but Tolo joins the attack. He puts in a good ball, headed away by Plumka. Far side for Craven. Craven gets a step on Mius. Well defended by Plumka. And it's going to be the 4th corner kick of the game for S2.
Craven's so dangerous when he gets 1v1 in those situations. Yeah, it's very hard because you don't know which side he wants to go. Muse tries to push him outside, and he still is able to get across, let alone a weaker one, but it's something still going across, making Muse think about the next move he's going to make. 4th corner now. Set pieces are such an integral part of this game. Even Ezra Hendricks said that they really need to focus on this.
That was another good ball in from Mathers. This time the Blues win the aerial battle. However, the possession war stays with S2. And Mathers, you could see the idea there, trying to head it on into that channel, but the offside flag is up. First of the game against either team. Mius on the far side. Schweitzer pops it forward. Easy pickings for McCracken. Bierman. Good job just to keep possession for the Blues. Barry Venison saying that he arrived for training yesterday about an hour early, and 2 rookies, and Mats Bierman and Grady Howe, were already out there training.
Yeah, that's the essence of youth, isn't it? This Cretinon finds himself in a little bit of space.
Try to push it on into the channel for Mius. Crittenden. Popara. Over the top. And S2 will come away with it. And here's the speed of Craven. Silva doing a good job to get back and square up to him, but there's space in the middle for Mathers, and he was always going to have a go, but he rolls it tamely at Josh Cohen. Won by Schweitzer, the defensive midfielder. Came through the Sounders Academy before going to the University of Denver, and now with S2. It's a pretty turn of the Jeff Cameron variety.
Yeah, you did show a little bit of skill last night as a center back, and that unfortunate loss to Columbia last night, but Mansourian is on here. Nicky has that skill, though. Illich, he can do that at any point in the field.
Fair challenge, says the referee. Crittenden. Mius. Crittenden on the overlap. Illich has been so active. Mius, that's a good ball in just over Bacciello and headed behind for the first corner kick of the game for the Orange County Blues.
great play from everybody involved. As Muse plays in, Cretinon, Illich coming through, playing a nice little soft ball, and what a great ball by Muse. Putting that defender on the back foot, facing his own goal. Tola had nothing to do but to head it back out for a corner, and now this is where the OC Blues can be very dangerous with a set piece with such great people on it like Didier Cretinon now.
This will be an outswinger. This time it's played along the ground. And a player goes down in the box. And Cohen will come out. Griffiths is still up. And he wins the free kick. Schweitzer whistled for the foul. Amius wanted to take it quickly. Now he sprays it toward the near side. Patino too strong for McCracken, and he wins the free kick. Keep up to date with the USL all season long by visiting the new USLsoccer.com for everything you need to know about the USL. Well, Griffith slipped but was able to get it away from Mathers just in time.
A couple of those scary moments already tonight, but Griffiths being able to been athletic enough and skillful enough to deal with those problems and keep a clean sheet for Mr. Cohen in the back.
Into the final 10 minutes of first half regulation.
Mathers seems to be shaken up though from the challenge with Griffiths.
As Mathers is down behind the play. And the referee coming over to check on him. Mathers has been impressive going forward for us too.
Yeah, he's really sat into that role behind Mansour very well. Been able to link up with him and link up with, you know, his center midfielders. It's going to be a blow to S2 if he does go down and he has to come out. But hopefully it's just a little knock. He gets a little bit of treatment and is able to continue playing tonight.
It's a chance for both teams who are sprinting over to their benches to get some water.
Exactly.
Talk about the play of Nikola Illich. He seems to be interchanging positions with everybody, but he seems to be doing especially well in tandem with Didier Cretinon.
Yeah, I mean, he's both of them are so skillful on the ball and understand the way each other play. Both coming in new to the team last year. They've had a whole year plus some now to play with each other, and you know, Illich wants to push in a little bit and link up with Bocello, with Cretinon, with Popora, and play on all sides of the ball and, you know, trying to get himself involved. He's done that so well today, not only from the wing, but when he does push inside and is able to hold on to the ball, connect little passes, and more maintain possession and propel the OC Blue attack.
And when you talk to the Blues coaching staff, the thing they say about Illich is he takes such good care of himself, such a professional mentality that, for instance, in the U.S. Open Cup, he played all 120 minutes and still had energy to burn, and he gave everything he had, but that's just how hard he trains, that he is that fit.
Yeah, it helps when, you know, you're 5'6" and, you know, 135. You know, you can run all day, but he really does take care of his body very well. He trains hard, he works hard. He knows how important this opportunity he has to be playing soccer professionally in this country, and he doesn't take it for granted. And, you know, it is really encouraging to see a young player like him take this so seriously and really trying to hone and perfect his craft.
We hear that a lot about a lot of these Blues players, the same thing, that they have such a wonderful attitude in training. I mean, that really just motivates and kind of permeates throughout the squad.
Yeah, well, you want to have a good mix as Silva plays that ball just a little bit too long from McCracken and it goes out for a goal kick. That you want to have that mix of a blue-collar player and a technically gifted, skilled player. And if you can find somebody who's willing to do the dirty work but has the skill of a number 10, of a creative player, then that's almost a gem, a diamond in the rough in the football soccer world. So they found a few of those here at OC Blues, and I know the technical staff wants to really encourage them to keep working and not rest on their laurels and become the best athletically player they can be, because they know their skill and their technical ability and their decision making is at such a high level.
And Bacciello almost got on the end of that one, but Nelson was able to get it away. Plunka's been so solid in this first half.
Yeah, I mean, that's just really good defending with the man on your back and the ball coming up that quickly at you. So calm on the ball, and it's such a good compliment to Griffiths sitting in front of Cohen.
And Griffiths as well, I've been really impressed with his entry pass from his center back position, 2 players checking into the pockets of space in the midfield.
Yeah, that's what he prides himself on, being able to play that ball into the ground to a forward's feet. It was something that at University of South Florida they really harped on being able to do, because they played in the 120 by 80 yard field. It was so wide, such a big pockets of space that you really had to be perfect with your passing, and he's carried that on here now in his 3rd season with the Blues.
Bit of a miscue from Lyon, gives the ball to the Blues on the near side. McCracken gets it back off the throw-in. Thought about the early cross. Now looking to combine. And S2 are wise to it. Well, the one thing we know about both of these teams is they'll fight to the bitter end. Even if one side can grab a goal before halftime, both of these teams were lauded by their coaches in midweek for playing to the very end in their last game.
And that's what you have to be. That's the kind of mentality you have to have as a team, that never say die, never gonna quit mentality.
Ezra Hendrickson said in that loss against T2, their team was much better in the second half than they were in the first half, and that they were creating chances up until the very end. And it took a special shot from Bijev to beat them in the 25th minute. For the Blues at the other end, they fought in the altitude of Colorado Springs till the 97th minute, got that penalty kick, and Ivan Mirkovic sent off in the 73rd minute, and Barry Venison said, "We didn't cry about it. We didn't play victim. Instead, we just worked harder. We pressed on. We pushed them, and we got the deserved equalizer in the end." He said, after that game, I would be happy to go into the trenches with these guys on any day. And that just shows you these two teams both have a lot of fight in them.
Well, at this stage in the season, there's no need to feel sorry for yourself. You want to have that grit, because anything can still happen. Only 10 games have been played out of the potential 30. So now you're talking, well, maybe bottom of the league right now, but a few results go our way, we get 12 points, and hold on, we're in playoff position, 5th, 6th place. So you can't give up at this stage in the season. It's too early. Teams are still figuring each other out. The whole league is still just getting set, and it's worthwhile to continue to work, to have that hard working attitude, and just to keep playing.
Smarley shielded out of bounds for the goal kick by McCracken. But that was a nice little period of exchanges with Ojong featuring very prominently there.
Yeah, and it's you can start to see S2 is getting settled in here now, and I mean it's taken just over 40 minutes, and they're going into halftime, but they'll go into halftime if it's still 0-0 a lot more confident than they would have 15 minutes ago when they didn't have much of the ball.
Miss hit from Schweitzer. Craven fighting for it with Illich. And Illich wins the free kick. Final 2.5 minutes of first half regulation. Mius wants to take it quickly, and once again, ball not fully stopped. You see refs usually let little things like that go, especially if the ball's in midfield or in the defensive end.
Yeah, but I mean the ball was completely rolling. You got to just put your hand on it and play. This is not 5v2 they're playing as Craven goes through the back of Muse there. and kicks the ball away afterwards.
This is going to at least be a talking to for Craven. And this is the perfect space for Muse, one of the best servers of a dead ball in the USL. Can the Blues steal one before halftime? Belgian happy with the starting point of his runners. It's a great ball in, chested down, and rolls across the face of goal and out of bounds for a goal kick.
What a great ball, though, by Muse. Flat, driven, just over the head of those first defenders there. Defender from S2 just got a little tip on it, but Bacciello wasn't able to put a head on it or even a solid chest shoulder to try to put it down to somebody, but he gets the ball back here.
Crittenden. Muse. And I think the Blues screaming for a corner kick, because I thought it took a hit off of Fisher. And now the referee looking over to the assistant referee number 1 on that far near side, rather, and seeing that he did in fact have his flag pointed toward the corner, and the Blues get their second corner kick of the half.
I understand why you got the referees mixed up. They are twins on the outside there.
This one taken short. Popara flights it in. Craven. Nice little touch on for Mathers to lead the break for S2. Muse did well to get back.
Yeah, very well by Muse. Strong, fast, quick runner that Craven is.
2 minutes of stoppage time as Popara pushes forward. Bacciello out wide for McCracken. Little touch on for Bierman. Trying to create space off the dribble. Finds Silva. Into Bacciello. And Popara does get the free kick he was asking for. Another chance for Muse. Into stoppage time.
Yeah, Muse really needs to take care of this one. Try and find either Griffiths or Plunka, Bacciello on the back post, because that's where they seem to be free in the last couple of set pieces that they've had. The worst thing is to concede right before half, but the best thing is to score a goal right before half. So Muse takes his time, tries to get something out of this.
That's another decent delivery from Muse, but it floats harmlessly into the hands of Lyon off the deflection. Perhaps one more chance to get forward for S2. And Craven is offsides. Assistant referee number 2 on this near side. As you said, one of the Mariscal twins. This one, Eduardo Mariscal, had his flag up. Apolinar Mariscal on the near side, where McCracken has the ball, gets it back to Griffiths. Muse kills it instantly. Perfectly floated ball. Bacciello turns, shrugs off his defender. What a great block. McCracken steps in front. Bierman twisting, turning.
I didn't think that was going to be a good ball from Muse, but it ended up being inch perfect to Bacciello, who just couldn't get that shot off. I would like to see him, that first touch, body his man, get that shot off with his left instead of trying to come all the way back in his right, giving John a chance to stand up and eventually block his shot.
Crittenden. Popara. Serbian flights it over to the far side for Muse. Another good ball in. And S2 doing just enough, as this one will go out for a goal kick, but Lyon won't have time to take it as the first 45 minutes comes to an end, scoreless in Irvine. Thoughts on the first half of Monty Walker?
Well, the Blues had lion's share of the possession, like usual, for a lot of the games that they've had this year, but just really don't have anything on the attacking end to show for it. They got in a couple times. Illich with a great volley. Bacciello you just saw there at the end, and a couple half chances, but it's just not clinical enough going forward to really be able to threat Lion and the rest of the S2 back line. But on the flip side of that, they need to be careful because S2 did show some good things with Craven, with Mansoure, with Patino there, and Mathers underneath all of them. They want to get forward. They want to, try to attack on the to have counterattack opportunities, and they've shown that they're somebody to be reckoned with. They're a team that wants to score goals, wants to get forward. It's just going to be a very interesting next 45 minutes of who comes out at what intensity who really wants to win this game.
Well, we know it's going to be two teams who will fight to the bitter end. And you have to say that Silva had a really good first 45 minutes. I mean, that's the first 45 minutes he's played since April 30th when he went 10 minutes in the win against Sacramento Republic.
Yeah, he just kept it simple, really, which was, I was intrigued to see. I don't know if he wanted to impose too much on the game early or anything. We just didn't know. But he really did try and keep it simple, try to keep it under control, keep the game in front of him, and really hold in between Griffiths and Plunk in the back. I would like to see a little less balls going to Mansouri, try to cut off those channels, work a little bit more defensively. But you're asking a lot of a man who hadn't played 45 minutes straight in over a year now. But when he's on the ball, you can tell how creative is and dangerous he is. I think he's had a very good start here tonight for the first 45 minutes.
And for S2, what did you make of the play of Oshong?
Yeah, he's just a good player. He's just a very solid player on the ball, works extremely hard. But I would like to see S2 on the ball a little bit more. They just haven't got too much work done just because of the game, the way it's been playing. I'd like to see him, Mathers, pretty much everybody in that center of midfield, Schwartz to be able to play and try to boss that midfield. But OC Blues just doing such a good job of cutting off channels and not letting them play and only giving them the option to go long, that they've really been stifled in the midfield.
When we talk about the Blues bench, who do you think is going to be the first to come off? You can put somebody up with Bacciello, or you could even bring him off. You have two forwards in Akwafi Ejekwa and Trevin Caesar are both very dangerous, but Bacciello's played very well. You could also bring one of them in and play him alongside of Bacciello.
Right. I think, if anything, you'll see Bierman come off. Illich, Illich is very strong and fit, but he's also playing, position that he didn't play when he played in the Open Cup. I expect to see Ejekwa come on for one of those guys on the outside. And then after that, you have Velima, who can come in and maybe do a Christian Silva job, just holding in that midfield, gauge Silva's fitness, and Velima can come in and really work that midfield along with the other two in there. So they have some options off the bench, and always you have the Trinidad and Tobago international, Trevin Caesar. You can put him up front.
And, of course, we're not saying these are substitutions that have to be made now. No. All 11 players playing very well for the Blues through the first 45 minutes, although we take a look at the stats, and the one problem is they've yet to stick a ball in the back of the net. Yeah, 9 shots to 6. The S2 and the Blues have both had the same problem all year long, scoring 6-8 goals in the games that they played and giving up goal differentials of way too high for both of them. You want to see more shots on goal. 1 to 9 is not very good at all. Lions only had to make 1 save from an S2 perspective. It's just not good enough going forward for either team. And the fouls committed by S2, you have to think that that's because of the pressing and the amount of men that the Blues are getting forward.
Well, yeah, it is. They press so high, that the only option they have is to do a little tactical foul here and there and try to stop the play. But if the Blues continue to press as they are, it's going to be very hard for S2 to maintain that level of intensity.
Well, 0-0 at halftime, 45 minutes down, 45 minutes to go, as later on this month, the Euros 2016 championship getting set to get underway in France. And we spoke with the Blues players who have their respective nations in the tournament to get their take on how they think their country is going to do in France this summer. So we're here with Roy Muse, Maurice Plunke, Oriel Cortez, and Didier Critman. all representing their countries for the upcoming European Championships, which will be held coming up this month in France. And first of all, I think I know the answer considering what just went on off camera, but has there been banter back and forth between you guys and between Coach Venison and Coach Wies about who's going to win this European Championship?
Yeah, it has been, especially with Germany, because they think they're going to win everything. Yeah, definitely.
Well, that's my first question is I want to ask each of you. Roy, with Belgium, I think you guys actually probably have one of the harder draws in Italy, Sweden, and Republic of Ireland. First of all, you think they're going to get out of the group, and who is going to be the toughest game of the group?
Yeah, I think we're going to get out of the group. I think it's a good thing we have a tough group, so we got a good start. If we get through this group, we have a good chance of winning the Euro Cup, and it's very exciting. It's very exciting. We had a young team. They're like getting some experience right now, so I'm very excited for the European Cup.
And realistically, now I know you all think that your country can win it, but how far do you think Belgium can realistically go? Do you think winning is an actual possibility?
I'd say semifinals is for sure what they have to be, and then maybe depending on the draw, I think if you get a good thing going, then you can win any game. So.
And
yeah.
what has it been? Obviously, there's this golden generation coming through. What has it been about Belgian football where they've been able to develop this talent that kind of mirrors the teams of the 80s and early 90s?
I think a lot of the players had their education outside of Belgium, and that helped a lot. A lot of young players had their education in Lille, as Hazard, Emeritus in Holland, Shadley in Holland. A lot of players went through Holland, went to the Premier League, and they're stepping up right now. So yeah.
And Mo, in your group, you guys obviously have Poland, and that's always a special game, no matter where those teams are.
Yeah, that's true. It's always a special game, but I think the group's not bad for Germany. I think, but it doesn't matter for Germany in which group you are. I think we are the world champion right now, and the aim is to win the Europe Cup. So, and I think we are going to.
Yeah, I mean, definitely looking to be one of the few teams that's ever, alongside France, to win the World Cup and the European Cup in succession. Spain as well. What do they have to do to win it this year?
I think at the moment we have a lot of important players like Schweinsteiger, which are not in a good shape. So I don't know what to think about it. Like Marco Reus, Jubilev didn't select Marco Reus for Europe Cup. I'm surprised about it. So, but I think they just have to play like the World Cup, because Germany is always a good team in the tournament. They are getting better from game to game, and so they just have to be confident in playing the game.
Speaking of Spain, Oriol, how important is it for Spain to have a good tournament, considering what happened in the last World Cup?
I mean, right now there's a new generation coming up, so it's like in the transition process. So, I mean, Spain is always expected to win, but this tournament is huge for this new generation to set a high standard, so we'll see about that, yeah.
Do you think the Spanish Football Federation has done a good job of blending youth and experience for this tournament?
I think so. You look at the under-21s, under-17s, and all those teams, and they're doing great. Like, they're winning Euro Cups, and under-17, I think they just lost in penalty kicks in the Euro Cup. So I think they have a good like base.
So what would be a stage that they reach where you say, okay, I'm satisfied with that? Of course, you want them to win, but if they were to get to, say, quarters or semis?
I'd say semis.
Semis.
Yeah. It's going to be very hard, like, because it's a tough, like, stage group and everything, but semis.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Didier, Switzerland, obviously, they've really featured in the last few tournaments and a string of tournaments. What is it about Swiss football that they've been on the rise for the last decade or so?
Yeah, I think we have a good new generation with good young players, and we are not a big team like Italy, France, or Germany, but I think we could be a surprise. We don't have a big group. I think France will be the first team in this group, but after with Albania and Romania, it's two teams who we can beat, and after we never know in the next one we can beat we can be a surprise. And I think for Switzerland the quarter final will be nice. We don't have a big team, but we can be a surprise of this tournament.
And I'm going to ask you guys all this same question. Who's a player on Switzerland that really impresses you or that you're excited to watch in this tournament?
I think everybody knows Shaqiri. He's he's a top player. He's strong. He's small, but he's a little bit like Messi. He's very fast, and he can be our top player for this tournament.
And Oriol, for Spain, obviously we know the big names. Who's somebody that might surprise us in the Spanish national
I
team?
think Nolito. He scored 3 goals last game. I think he's going to be good. Yeah.
Well,
Me, center back, it's Boateng. One of the most important players in the German. And Thomas Müller, because he's like, I don't know what to say about him, but he's different than the other players.
he's got quite a personality, doesn't he? Yeah. And Roy, I mean, so many players to choose from for Belgium.
Yeah, I'll go for Kevin De Bruyne. He's been having an amazing 2 years, first in Germany, then in England, and no one expected that. So I think he's going to be our main guy at the World Cup. Europe.
Well, and hopefully the World Cup in Russia. But for now, one thing I wonder is, when I watch a game, I sit back, I have a few beers, and I watch the game and I enjoy it. But as professionals, what are you looking for? What are you kind of honing in on when you watch these international matches?
I think, for me personally, I usually look at the guy who's playing in my position, what to improve on, what they're doing, and I try to read the game, because you have a different view of the game, which is always really nice to have. And yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, for me it's the same, right? Because I mean you can learn a lot from these top world-class players. So I think it's your job to learn what they are doing, what you can learn from them, and yeah. I just try to enjoy the game and to learn something from it.
Same thing. I try to look at players like Iniesta, Busquets, and just try to see how they play, how they move, how smart they are with the ball, and just try to learn from them every game.
Me, when I was younger, I watched specific players, specific things on the field, but now I prefer to watch the game, like you said before, with a beer or whatever. But
Don't
yes,
let Oliver know that.
But I don't watch so many games right now. I prefer to watch top games, like to watch Switzerland, Italy, or big games. But I watch less soccer than before.
Well, there you have it. Belgium, Germany, Spain, and Switzerland. You got the views from those countries, and you also have a guide on how to really watch those matches and kind of hone in on something other than just the overall picture. So guys, thank you so much for your time, and best of luck to you guys and to your countries as well. Hope you guys have a great tournament this summer, and good luck on Saturday against us too.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. All set for the final 45 minutes between the Orange County Blues and Seattle Sounders 2. No score after the first 45 as S2 kicks off attacking to the right. The Blues win it back right away. Little touch off from Bacciello. Have a player sprinting down that far side. And Popardo wins it. Krittinen. Popardo. And well chested down. Ojong. Patino. Bit of a heavy touch, and McCracken takes advantage. Ajekwa, sub who came in at halftime. Both him and Caesar are in. And they've both caused problems right away. And Cortez is in as well as he replaces Silva. So 3 substitutions made, Amani, at halftime by Oliver Wies.
The 3 players that I thought might come off as well, but I thought Coach Wies would have given them, you know, maybe 15, 20 more minutes to kind of see out the second half. But Berman, Illich, and Silva have all come off. All players who haven't had a lot of minutes in recent games. I think they're trying to monitor them. All of them, I thought, played very well tonight. And at least they got a little run in, got some minutes. But it's now for these 3 next players to make their stamp and impact on this game.
Schweitzer. Well stepped in. And Lyon has to come out to clear.
Triple substitution for OC Blues at halftime.
Caesar.
Number 16, Matt Spearman.
And the flag stays down.
Caesar.
And now the flag comes back up, and I know you're supposed to wait till the player gets the first touch, but not the 6th or 7th.
Yeah, I think he thought about the decision a little bit, went back, but he got it right in the end, and that's really all that matters.
It was offsides. Schweitzer. Craven working centrally. Mansoure threads it through for Craven, and he's able to pick out the corner. S2 have their noses in front early in the second half. Just the 2nd goal they've scored in the second half this season, and S2 has yet to lose when taking the lead in 2016. Craven gets his first goal of the year for S2.
It's all about Craven, really, on this entire attack. Schwarzer gets it, but Craven just kind of comes inside, finds a little gap in between Popora, Cortez, and that back line. Finds Mansour from a great run that he just kind of peels off. Craven continues his run. Jackson McCracken goes with Patino too far inside with Britton Griffiths. They just get caught out. Craven with the easiest, coolest finish he'll probably have this season. And the Blues, like in the first half, switch off for the first 2 minutes, 3 minutes of the game after, you know, a strong opening 90 seconds and find themselves down 1-0. In the second half within 2.5 minutes is incredible.
Enterprise as the proud partner of the Blues. Be sure to make your way down to the fan fest and visit the Blues to collect a virtual gift bag tonight.
Plunka. Mius. Bit of a heavy touch. Ojong steps in. The Blues have to retreat. Cortez with his first real involvement. Caesar leaves it off for Mius. Early cross into Jaquan arriving at the far post.
What a great ball that was from Muse. But Jaquan attacking at the end on the far side there. I don't know if that was Nelson over there on the far side who got that out, but such a good, strong header, and I mean, last ditch to be able to keep his team up 1-0.
Well, it's a great response from Orange County. What can they do from this Muse corner? First of the half, third of the game for Orange County. Floated to the back stick and headed away with authority. Crittenden gets it all the way back to McCracken. He uses his safety valve in Josh Cohen. Well, how does that goal change things for Orange County?
I mean, it shouldn't change things too much. They should be going forward, attacking like they were going to, as Ajekwa is looking for something in the box that the referee just not having it, but it shouldn't change too much for them. They're still going to possess. They might need to be a little bit more direct later, but right now is no time to panic, no time to push everyone forward and leave huge gaps in the back that S2 can potentially exploit.
Strong running from Tolo, and a nice move to elude Caesar. And then fizzed it beyond everybody in the danger area. Out of bounds for Blues throwing on the near side.
He had done everything so well. There's such a strong one, being able to ride that challenge from Caesar, but he just needs a much better delivery into that box. So you have 3-4 people waiting in there. That's disappointing if I'm a center forward and that kind of cross comes in.
Schweitzer. Sounders Academy product rated very highly by this S2 team. So many players that you could see potentially making the jump up to the MLS side.
Which is what the whole technical staff of the Sounders want, the whole organization, to have these players being able to step in whenever needed. And that's just such a great thing to have in these USL, MLS sides where you can go up and down and really be able to get your experience and your game speed, your game fitness at both levels.
53rd minute, Orange County trailing 1-0 to Sounders 2. Mark Serber alongside Amani Walker. Hope you're enjoying our coverage on the USL YouTube page. Kurtnen into the corner for Ajekwa. Did well to win that ball, but just couldn't keep it in, and it's a goal kick for Lyon.
And Ajekwa did so well to keep that ball in, and then I don't know if that was a shot or off the volley or if it was trying to pass it across, but it has to be a lot better, especially at this point in the game where everybody's getting into it. You have to be able to create chances when you're that close.
Ajekwa, such a great engine. You see him coming all the way back to win that ball in midfield.
He really is. I mean, if nothing else, he'll work for you. But he's so skillful on the ball and is always there to create some kind of chance. It's just about how many opportunities can he create a game, not if he will.
McCracken. Griffiths into Oriel Cortez. Spaniard puts it onto the foot of McCracken. Great work from Tolo.
That was Karate Kid-like. But S2 have started to push up so much higher when the back line of the Blues have it.
Popara. McCracken has gotten forward here. Can't skip by Tolo. Ojong. This is an excellent passage of play from S2. And it's Craven popping up on the near side. Able to spin Muse. And the referee points to the spot. S2 with a chance to take a 2-0 lead. Muse claiming that he got the ball. But the referee, Michael Zapata, disagrees.
I thought he got the ball as well, but it's not much different than the Ajekwa challenge that just happened about 5 minutes ago. The referee, though, obviously saw something more in it. Maybe that Muse came across Craven a little bit more, and here we have Craven gets Cohen.
Craven centering himself. Looking for his second goal of the match and to put S2 up by 2. Cohen standing tall on his line. Zapata making sure that everybody's toes are outside that box. Craven steps up to it and scores.
Has to be said, though. It was a great PK in the end. Whether the Blues feel hard done by it or not, Craven picked his spot. Right got Cohen to go in the wrong direction. Now we're 56 minutes, 57 minutes through the game. OC Blues are 2-0 down, and it's about, you know, that grind, that grit that we talked about before. How much can they muster up right now to create their first multi-goal game of the season and to get a result when they've dominated so much of this game.
And this is a Jaquan looking for an instant response. Cleared away before Caesar could get there. Good defending by Fisher at the back post. Well, you have to say, Imani, that goal, even though it was a penalty kick by Andy Craven, started with that combination passing to get out of the back by S2.
Yeah, and they've gotten so much confidence since the start of this game. And it just has shown with that little passes of play that they got in the 48th minute to create Craven's first goal, and now being able to play out the back here and to get something into the box, take somebody on, create an opportunity to get fouled, even create some kind of chance, and then now they take advantage of their set piece. They've obviously come out, created some kind of game plan, and I mean, 10 minutes in, they're 2-0 up.
Blues looking to respond from the corner kick. Musa's service headed back across by Jaquan, and Lyon reacts quickest. And quickly out to Craven. 24-year-old on a hat trick, and this time he's stuck by Popara. And Popara steps in and wins it off of Tolo, and the free kick as well. Popara trying to move it forward to where Crittenden had it.
Crittenden had it. Trevin Caesar wide open in the channel there. Couldn't quite get it off quick enough, but you know, the decision to make the run was there. Just has to play it, has to try at this point. 2-0 down. You need to start creating chances, even if they aren't going to work out.
S2 looking like a side in full flow as the ball comes out to the far side. Patino one-on-one against McCracken. Elects to take the inside route. Now gets it back out to Tolo. Well, that was a deft delivery, but the Blues are able to scramble it clear.
If Plunkett didn't get the touch there, then Mansour was wide, could chest the ball down, wide open in the box.
This time the Blues win a free kick on the near side as a Jaquan was brought to ground. Well, the Blues can certainly feel hard done by.
Yeah, it seems to be as McCracken goes through here, plays a nice ball in.
Oh, it's a great ball, Jaquan! First ever goal as a professional, and it's a big one as it gets the Blues back on track. Gorgeous finish by Akwafi Jaquan.
And we're just talking here that the Blues need to get something, create a little bit of chance, do something, early cross, whatever. What a great ball by Jackson McCracken that just floated in there in kind of a no man's land where Lyon didn't know if he wanted to come out and get it or not. He likes to stay on his line, and Draco, what a great finish. We just talked about him being able to create chances and how many in the game, and there he is, diving header, 2-1, and now you can feel there's a little breath of life that's come into the crowd and to the OC Blues on the field. Let's see if they can continue this momentum and get a result out of this game.
On the hour mark, the Blues are back on song. I really don't think Muse is going to like this referee by the end of the night.
Yeah, it's been a couple iffy ones there. He doesn't think that he's fouled anybody, but that's a classic defender thinking, I think.
Well, you have to love the response from Orange County.
Yeah, it's incredible. Ooh.
Well, that's a heavy tackle. And what color will this card be? The entire Blues bench jumped up. Ajekwa still thriving in pain. Now he gets up, and was trying to make a V-line for the referee, and he's being held back. And it's a red card. And Schweitzer is off in the 62nd minute. And now the Blues have a real opportunity to try and go on and equalize and possibly more. And Ajekwa still has to be held back. And now Michael Zapata is coming over to try and calm down Ajekwa, saying, I already gave him the red card.
Yeah, I mean, Ajekwa, he had he knows the flip side of that as well, and that challenge, and I know that hurt him right in that challenge, but it was reckless, it was dangerous. Coming off that goal now, he needs to continue this momentum, as Coach Oliver Wies is now talking to him on the sideline, giving a little motivational speaking, but he has to now use this as motivation to push forward, get another goal, because right now his impact in the last 15 minutes of this game has really changed the whole outlook on OC Blues and how they're pursuing this game. S2 now down to 10 men. The Blues have to push now. They have to go forward. They have to really create chances. S2 is already on the back foot, conceding a goal, not going down one man. They're vulnerable now, and if the Blues can attack, I think they'll be able to put more than one goal in within the next 15 minutes.
And when you're looking at players, especially young players, this is the kind of situation you want to see how they're going to react to it from an S2 perspective. How do they handle this kind of adversity?
Definitely. Your whole game plan has changed. You come out and you thought you accomplished everything you needed to.
Hint of a handball, perhaps, but play goes on.
You thought you were going to accomplish everything you're going up 2-0 in the first 10 minutes. But now it's 2-1, you're a man down. Can you hold on for the next 30 minutes and get a result away from home for only your second win of the season? I know Coach Ezra is really thinking about what he can do, what changes he can make to hold on to this lead, as we see somebody walking up to the scorer's table right there for the fourth official. But we'll see what S2, such a young team, is made of.
Ajekwa. Mius. Oh, and another heavy challenge. Advantage is played. Popara! We're level! What a strike from Pavle Popara! Advantage played by the referee, and Popara took full advantage.
Superb strike from Popara from outside the box, 25 yards out, finding that back corner. That's what we said. They have to pressure. They have to press. S2 was on the back foot, had their backs against the wall. You have everybody, Craven, trying to figure it out in the middle of the field, what they're going to do, what system they're going to play. As it looks like Patino has stepped off now. You can really feel the crowd here is getting behind their team. It's going to be a good finish here. Hopefully there's a lot more goals to come.
The resiliency of the OC Blues coming through once again. A chance to possibly go on and win this. Not only have they scored 2 goals to come back and tie this game, but they are also a man up as the offsides flag goes up against S2. As Kapawa has come on for Patino. Confirmation at the bottom of your screen. Oh, and that's not smart.
And I was just about to say, cooler heads need to prevail here with the Orange County Blues. There's so much time left, so much to do. They can't do anything silly. They can't rush anything. They can't push too many men forward and leave, a big gap in the back, and they can't, get into silly, frivolous stuff with the opposition that has nothing to do with the run of play. They're in the driver's seat now, and they need to take care of this and take advantage of the advantage that they have. Let's see what S2, such a young team, is made of.
Let's take a look at the replay of the goal. Mius was fouled there, but it was a great ball in from Crittenden. And Popara, that's a sublime finish, curling it into the corner.
Really terrific, and from that far out, being able to take one touch after being blinded by the referee a little bit. Lyon had no chance in saving that one.
The county line coalition is in full voice as the Blues use the inside route once again. Tapping for Caesar, but the offsides flag is up. Caesar is irate.
It was a close one. Very, very, very close. Couldn't quite tell if Caesar was on or off when the ball was hit, but it must have been minuscule how close and how far he was. So unlucky, still 2-2, but I mean the Blues are knocking on the door, trying to get one more for the win, and then hopefully push on for more, as S2 is starting to break a little bit more in the back.
And like you said, you can't get overzealous because this is an S2 team that is so dangerous at hitting on the break.
Exactly, and Craven, you saw already how dangerous he can be. It's so hard to keep track of him when you have everybody on the field as the ball gets put in now out for a corner on the Muse cross. So be aware of Craven, be aware of Mansouri up top, and I think they'll be okay.
That's going to be another corner kick for the Blues, their third of the half. Caesar thought he had beaten Lyon. Stands in front of him. It goes over him, headed just wide. Oh, the Blues certainly have S2 rocking right now. Lyon trying to settle his side down by taking some time on this goal kick.
It's a great cross, though, and by Didier Cretin. Britton Griffiths just pretty much slips off the top of his head, goes just wide, gets there ahead of Lyon, but the Blues are there, they're knocking, they feel it, they know something else can come, especially being a man up, and it's only a matter of time before it looks like right now they're going to get a goal and the result.
Get into the game through the USL social media channels. Follow the USL on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for news, live game updates, and video highlights from across the league.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Substitution for Seattle Sounders, FC2, and the 69 minute of play. Lifting against number 32, Zach Mathers.
Mathers is out, and Lorenzo Ramos comes in, an academy player in his second season with S2. Another good, quick one-touch pass from Griffiths to release McCracken. He finds Caesar, who's being held, and he wins the free kick for the Blues. And now a yellow card comes out for Tolo as well.
Such a good run from Caesar, though, into the channel. And a ball played in, nicely weighted by McCracken, creates that kind of opportunity. Tolo has no option to let him go, and he's free to get across or to foul him, and he gets the yellow card in a set piece. But the way that the Blues can set up set pieces, I don't know which one is worse from an S2 standpoint.
Well, McCracken's services have been special, whether it's to the back post for a Jaquel or perfectly weighted along the ground for Caesar on that occasion.
Yeah, it's done very, very well. As a right back, like you said, played every minute this season. He's in form. You can see it in every minute. He grows a little bit more this season.
Do you think Mius is thinking at all of trying to catch Lyon at his near post?
Yeah, I don't know what he's thinking ever, but he could be.
Floats it to the back post. It's free for Jaquel, and it's a great save from Lyon, but then it's put in. 3-2 Orange County in the 71st minute. And for the second time this season, it's Brenton Griffiths off of a set piece.
The set piece, though, Roy Mewis's ball really set this all up. Perfectly weighted, like we said. I don't know how many different ways we can describe a Mewis set piece ball into the box. Ajekwa gets on the end of it. Looks like he was going to kind of scuff it. Ball looks like it got cleared into Griffiths, and Griffiths just eases it into the back of the net. Now it's 3-2 up. And if I'm the OC Blues, if I'm on that field, I'm not putting my foot off the throttle. I'm keep going at this S2 team because they've looked like they've really broken down since the first goal in the 52nd minute.
Oh, and they're taking advantage of a player down here. And I don't know about this one, Amani. Yes, the player is down, but if it's not a head injury, there's no reason to stop the game.
There isn't really, and if he had it right before the set piece, right before the ball was put back into play in the restart, I would have had no problem with it. The ball had already been restarted, then he's called the play off. That's a little iffy in my book. I think the play should have been gone on, and S2 would have just had to play with 2 men down. Here's the replay for the goal. Such a good ball from Mewis. Looks like the ball is trying to get cleared off, and Brenton Griffiths just sticks a toe in. Gets his second goal of the season, but most importantly, the third goal tonight in their first multi-goal game of the year. And he's now the hero as the captain, being able to put his team in front. Now he needs to be the hero in the back to keep his team in front and not let any more goals come through.
Ajekwa, what a difference he's made since coming on at halftime. Almost got to the byline to get the cross off, but this time runs out of real estate. 73rd minute, the OC Blues have come from 2-0 down to go 3-2 up. Craven with a brace to open this second half for S2, scoring in first the 48th minute and then from the spot in the 56th. But then Ajekwa scored on the hour mark, and right after that, a red card was shown to Jordan Schweitzer for a heavy challenge. And Popara took advantage, scoring in the 64th minute, and then Griffiths off a set piece stroked the ball home in the 72nd, and a chance for an equalizer. Josh Cohen comes up big.
Comes up massive. Craven just gets slipped through. We've been saying it, how dangerous this kid is when he gets slipped through, when he has pace, when he's running at the defense at goal, and it's so quick. So dangerous, but Cohen comes up big, stands up tall, is able to have a kick save, but here we go. Another set piece, a corner for S2.
5th corner kick for the Pacific Northwest side. And S2 wanted a second penalty. And now there's a Blues player down. Craven looking for his hat trick. Cohen robs him again. Well, it's Cortez who's down. And he's holding his face. We'll see if Michael Zapata takes any action here. Well, 75th minute in a game that's had pretty much everything already, Amani. I think we're in for a grandstand finish.
I hope so. I really do hope so.
Another ball swung into a dangerous area. Blues off the hook in the end. Caesar, volume rising as the Blues get closer and closer to that goal. McCracken has been sensational tonight. The Orange County Blues scoring 2 goals in 4 minutes, and in between those 4 minutes was the sending off at Ajekwa, scoring that goal in the 60th, drawing the red card on Schweitzer in the 62nd, and then Popara scoring in the 64th before Griffiths added the 3rd in the 72nd. And Blues wanted a free kick there. I have a feeling this S2 side, despite being down to 10 men, is not done yet.
No, they
but
won't.
neither is Caesar.
This S2 side, they won't give up. As we referenced earlier in the broadcast, every game they've had this year, they've fought to the bitter end, and I expect no different here tonight, even though a man down.
Especially as long as this man's on the field, Craven, looking to turn provider here. Beautiful switch to the near side, neatly bought down, and trying to slip it in, but Plumka is there. Nike is a proud partner of the USL. Follow @Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike soccer information. And it looks like we're going to have another switch here for S2. As Victor Mansoure is coming off, and Emir Alihodzic is coming on. 22-year-old to make his 9th appearance for S2, the rookie out of the University of Nebraska, Omaha. How would you rate Victor Mansoure's performance tonight?
I wish he would have gotten more of the ball, but when he did, he was dangerous in the sense that he was creating link-up play. He did get the assist on Craven's first goal, playing a nice ball, through ball on the floor across to Craven, across really 3 OC Blues players. I would like to see him more on the ball. It's a hard situation to be a man down, though, and being the lone center striker. But I thought he put in a good shift tonight.
Lovely skill. Craven leaves it off at the top of the box. And Ali Hadjic had a chance to be a hero with his first touch.
Yeah.
Fisher trying to force his way forward. Cleared away, looking for Bacciello. Oh, and another heavy challenge. An advantage smartly played. It's a 2-on-2. Over for Caesar. Struck right at Lyon. And now Barry Venison, off on the Blues bench, is absolutely beside himself. That play wasn't pulled back, and now it is. And the referee bringing out a card. It's a yellow card. It was struck well by Caesar, but the keeper was positioned in the right spot.
Yeah, Caesar had to come back for that ball anyways, and so his momentum still was static when he hit that ball off the volley. It was well struck still, but straight at line. Easy pickings for him, but more worried about Ajekwa on the near side here, how he's going to recover from 2 heavy challenges like that, pretty much in the same spot. But he looks to be okay, stepping up. Well done to the referee for letting play go on and not stopping it, and the Blues were able to get their chance and an opportunity on goal.
Confirmation of the yellow card to Brendan John, as Ajekwa has caused fits for this S2 defense tonight, not only with his speed, but his guile as well.
That's for sure. He's done so well since halftime when he's come on. As soon as he got settled into the game, he really made his presence known, and he's continuing to make an impact throughout here into the last 10 minutes.
Keep up to date with the USL all season long by visiting the new USLsoccer.com for everything you need to know about the USL. And now the 4th official having a conversation, and the referee coming over to talk to one of the members of the S2 bench. And I believe it's going to be a warning for both benches.
Yeah.
Fourth official Vincent Apple Chiarella speaking with Michael Zapata. And I think Zapata doing the right thing, not showing any cards, just telling both benches, I know that the tension is high, I know what is on the line, but let's just keep a proper decorum.
Yeah, it's a warning. It's from a manager-coach standpoint, you can only do so much, but you're trying to influence the game the best way you can. Tension does get high. Emotions do run, pretty high as well. So you have to keep it settled, keep everything in perspective, and just really manage your team on the field.
Well stepped in by Mius. Craven was in an offsides position as he left the starting gate just a split second too early.
It was very close, though. Very, very, very close.
If you're Orange County, how do you navigate these final 9 minutes plus change?
I think you do more of the same. You continue keeping possession, keeping a hold of the game by keeping a hold of the ball. It's worked for them so far, the whole first half especially. S2 is going to come after them, but you have to understand that they're a man down. There's always going to be somebody open on the field, and you just have to find those little pockets of space. Doesn't mean that you stop working, because S2 definitely won't, but you have to be able to be smart, keep possession, hold the ball in the right spots, and get forward when you need to, not necessarily when you have to.
Well, you would love to get that goal to certainly kill off the game, but at the same time, you don't want to give this pacey S2 side a chance to get in behind you.
Yeah, and I think you tire them out by just keeping the ball, making them defend. Nobody wants to defend for 10, 15 minutes straight without touching the ball, especially man down. It's a lot of work. The more the Blues use up this whole space that they have, the easier they'll be able to find it, as Cohen now finds a great ball over to a Jaquan, but just a little touch too heavy out for a goal kick.
And we should mention that for the Blues players who've played 45 minutes or less tonight, they're going to get a huge opportunity tomorrow morning as they play against Ecuador in a closed-door friendly. Ecuador, of course, playing Brazil tonight at the Rose Bowl, and we're not going to tell you the score of that game because we know we'll get a comment about somebody who's DVRing it. But, I mean, what an opportunity for these Blues players to get to go up against some of the world's best.
Yeah, when the World Cup was going on, I was playing in Tampa for the Rowdies. We got to play a closed-door friendly against Costa Rica after they played Japan in a friendly in Florida. And, I mean, that experience is incredible, and it's same as Caesar now gets in on goal.
Caesar across, hits a hand. What a goal that would have been. And now the referee does point to the spot. Advantage played again by the referee, and the Blues have a chance to possibly ice this game.
It was such a simple clearance, a ball out, Caesar's in by himself. I didn't see who the handball was on, but as he tries to cross the ball, I mean, give it up to Bocello for trying the back heel, and the referee ends up giving the handball in the end. But the Blues score this is just really icing on the cake. You know, to come down from 2 goals down with the man down, this will be very hard for S2, and the Blues can see out this game. But it all depends on what Roy Mius does at the spot.
Mius was the man who scored the PK in the 97th minute to give the Blues a point against Switchbacks FC. And he's going to have to wait here while Tolo gets attended to.
Looks like another either cramp or hamstring or something. Incredible opportunity, though, for the Blues now, being down 2-0 just 40 minutes ago. And now coming to be a 4-2, a man up. Soccer is a crazy game, isn't it?
The Blues are 2 for 3 from the spot this season. Mius, a picture of concentration. As Tolo is walking off gingerly, and a pat on the back from Brenton Griffiths. Real respect for the young Cameroonian who played so well tonight.
Yeah, he's a strong player. He has a bright, bright, bright future ahead of him. The amount of potential that's in, those 2 legs of his. Interested to see, how the rest of this year and the next, 5, 6, 10 years goes for him and where he's at.
Mius, already a goal and 2 assists in his last 3 games. A chance to add to that streak and a chance to give some breathing room to the Orange County Blues here against S2. It's Mius versus Lyon. Mius steps up, hesitates, and I think Lyon might have gotten a touch on it, but not enough to keep it out. Mius with his 2nd goal from the spot in as many weeks, and the Blues lead 4-2 inside the final 5 minutes of regulation.
So cool, calm, and collected, Mius, as he stepped up to take that penalty. Line guesses right, like you said, gets a touch on it, just not strong enough of a hand to keep it out of the net. But this has been the craziest turnaround I've seen in a long time. From down 2-0, up 4-2, 48th minute now to the 86th. It shows just how strong OC Blues were in this second half. To not give up, to work, to play in front of their home fans, and to get 3 points out of this game. I know it's not over yet, but you can't say enough about the squad that Coach Weiss and Venison put out on the second half to put 4 goals up.
Craven offsides once again. And even though the whistle had already gone, Cohen said, "I'm not letting that go in my net."
Like a basketball player, not letting the three-pointer go in after the whistle. It's always nice to keep the ball out of your net, no matter in play or out.
Jaqua's job now is going to be to try and get that ball and take it in the corner, but it goes out for a throw-in on the near side. It's good to see Tolo back on. Ali Hodzic. Craven looks to play it inside, and the Blues were able to close it down. A free kick won by S2. This thing's heating up again between Ajekwa and Craven. And Griffiths doing what's required of those wearing the captain's armband, getting over and trying to get his players out of the way. And I think once again it's another tussle that was well handled by Zapata.
Yeah, obviously tensions are running high. Just be able to cut it real quick and deal with the players individually. There's only 3 minutes left plus stoppage time in this game. There's no need for anybody else to get sent off. Caution there for Caesar for coming over and making a meal of that, but no need for anybody else to get sent off as the game has pretty much run its course.
Confirmation of Caesar's yellow card. Well, this is certainly going to add some time to the end of this game. S2 looking to claw their way back late on. And that shot not coming down in time. And a chance for Josh Cohen and company to burn more time off this clock as S2 are getting ready to flick the switch on another substitution. And I believe it's Fisher who's coming off. And coming in is Kei Tomozawa. And now Veneri Valima will come on for the Blues as Didier Crittenden is making his way off the field. And Valima, a very smart player going forward, but he certainly knows how to plug the gaps as well, and that's what you need in stoppage time.
Yeah, and especially, this looks like it's, not too much minutes added on here from Zapata as the fourth official is about to give us the sign here in a second. But it's just somebody just to run out the last 5 minutes or so that we have here for extra time. So,
well, S2 came flying out of the starting gates for the second 45 minutes, taking a well-taken goal in the 48th from Craven. He would strike again from the spot in the 56th, but since then, Ajekwa, Popara, Griffiths, and Mius have all scored for the Blues to give them a 4-2 lead, and S2 down to 10 men after Jordan Schweitzer was sent off in the 62nd minute, and the Blues looking to close it out. Chance to go to 500 at 4-4-3 for the Orange County Blues. Coming up next, a trip to face off against Arizona United, a team they tied right here 1-1 back on May 8th, hitting the post 5 times in that game.
What a great game that was. That was, you know, intense, had drama, and, you know, ended up being a result for the Blues, who would have felt very hard done by. I'm just really excited to see Arizona and them square off again. You know, sparks are going to fly.
And of course, that game could see the return of Chino Santana to the Orange County Blues lineup.
Which would, you know, is great. And then so exciting to see Chino come back after that injury that he received in preseason. Hasn't even featured this year in the year as Popora goes across. Ball just skips across the 6-yard box with nobody there to find it, too high and too strong. But Chino's such a great player, so creative, so strong on the ball, and intense work rate for 0 to 90 minutes. It's sad that we haven't been able to see him, but it should be exciting to all the OC Blue fans that he's on his way back, and you know, he'll be hungrier than ever to make his impact on the team and on this league.
And he's expected to get some minutes tomorrow against Ecuador, as well as Andre Campbell.
Yeah.
Another player that's been missing for the Blues through injury this season.
And, you know, we saw Andre Campbell when he came and played, you know, featured in his first match here with the Blues, you know, created a PK opportunity and was injured on the same play, couldn't go for the rest of the game, but he was up and down that field playing very high and very forward, direct, and Pacello's through by himself here.
And it's because an S2 player was down, keeping him onside. And Pacello, as cool as you'd like, 5-2 Orange County. Well, that's just harsh on S2, but Orange County taking full advantage, and rightly so, and Bacciello with a brilliant finish.
Yeah, it was a great finish, and I mean, he kind of found himself in a fortunate position there. S2 player down, it looks like Brandon John was down, and the whole S2 line had stepped up looking for some kind of result, some kind of goal to go home by to Seattle, but Baccello does the right thing. So cool, so calm, so collected, finds himself in a ton of space, as we see here on your screen in the replay, and cool finish inside the foot, near post. 5-2 now to the Blues, and from the way the second half started, I'd tell you 5-2 was the last thing I expected.
And it's no more than Bacciello deserves for his graft as that lone forward to start the game.
Yeah, he's worked so hard this whole game, never stopped, never quit, and he really does deserve that reward here at the end of the game, even though it's you know, the icing on the cake, really of no consequence. He deserves to get one for himself, and the Blues looking to continue going forward.
And I think you can speak to this as a former forward, Amani. Sometimes you have too much time to think about it, and a lot of players might have overthought it in that situation.
To be honest, I thought, you know, he had taken too much time. He had jogged a little too slowly on that 1v1 there, and I didn't really know what to expect. You know, it was one of those where you're right, you think you have so much time in the world and you end up not. But all credit due to him, took his time, super composed, and a clinical finish there with the inside of his foot.
And I believe it is John who's coming off. As Toby No Hope comes on for the final few seconds, but that will do it. The Orange County Blues are back within the win column from 2-0 down to take a 5-2 victory over S2. A tremendous comeback. The resiliency of the Blues showing through once again, no doubt helped by the 62nd minute red card to Jordan Schweitzer for S2, but the Blues took full advantage.
Yeah, they really did, and all credit due to them. If you're given that kind of, boost. You know, you have to take it. You have to take that advantage. You have to take that opportunity. And the Blues really did. They took it in full stride. It was great.
And the Blues taking their opportunities when presented to them. Had fallen behind to a brace from Craven in the 48th minute and from the spot in the 56th. But then Ajekwa scoring his first professional goal in the 60th. Schweitzer sent off in the 62nd. Popara taking full advantage just 2 minutes later. And Griffiths will get credit for the game winner. And then Muse from the spot 4 minutes from time, followed by Bacciello deep into extra time. And for Orange County, they're back to 500 at 4-4-3 on the season. Will Seattle Sounders FC2 fall to 1-7-4 on the season, remain rooted to the bottom, but a great fight from S2, and it was always going to be tough when they went down to 10 men.
Yeah, I mean, you can't say enough about this team. On paper, they are not this team. As we look at now, this goal from Craven just finds Mercer right there. Craven, so cool, so calm, collected. He was a catalyst for this team. You know, getting his first professional goal, or his first goal this year, with this S2 side. But really, he was just a catalyst in there, working super hard, finding little opportunities, finding pockets of space to work with Mansoure. And, I mean, I really thought after he scored that goal and the second goal, he might have gone on and scored 3 or 4 because he was just doing so well. He was giving the back line of the Blues so many problems coming inside. As we take a look at his PK now, after it was a PK he created, coming inside, beating Muse, and Muse just sticking a foot in, Craven falling over it, creates this opportunity for himself from the spot, and just comes up and smashes it into the bottom corner, sends Cohen going the opposite way. And at this point in the game, I'm thinking, well, you know, S2 has it. The Blues are going to be find themselves in a very, very difficult position if they don't do something quickly, and they almost score, you know, maybe 5-10 minutes later.
This is what I love, the Blues coming right over to celebrate with their fans. What a great game this was for the Blues fans and for the neutral observer. Maybe not so much from an S2 perspective,
right,
but a wild one here tonight at Anteater Stadium.
Yeah, it was great. You know, this is 5 minutes later that, you know, McCracken puts this ball into a Jaquad, just come on, and such a good finish. Telling his boys to get back because the job wasn't done there. When he came on to Jaquad, this whole game changed. Him and Caesar, they really created a whole different dynamic to the flanks for the Orange County Blues. They didn't work back as far, but they really wanted to push forward. They really want to put Tolo and the right back, Fisher, on the back foot, and that's what they did. Again, starts from Ajekwa over there in the corner. Muse gets fouled. Referee plays a smart play on. Didier plays it to Popara, and what a great finish from 25, 30 yards out. Finds that bottom corner, and no Lion could do nothing about that. Absolutely nothing about that. And now it's 2-2. The whole game dynamic has changed. Red card from S2. Swarsha gets sent off. Blues are rolling, and only time was going to come before they get the third, fourth, and fifth goal.
And what was it that the Blues did? I mean, obviously, Ajekwa just so dangerous down that near side. But what really turned the tide in their favor? I mean, it started before the red card.
It did start before the red card, and as we see Muse stepping up to the spot and bearing that one, Lion getting a hand on it, but just not quite enough, and that was the icing on the cake for that goal. It was really being able to attack, going forward solidly, as we see now 18 shots to 11, 6 shots on goal, 5 goals. Every shot on goal they had was great, and a goal in itself. But the Blues really just stepped up and pushed, try to create opportunities for themselves. They didn't sit back when they went 2 goals down because they knew they had to get forward. They knew they had to get a result, and they had the opportunities to do so. That goal from Ajekro really sparked everything for them, and really put some belief not only in the team but in the whole stadium here, all the fans started getting behind their team in the Orange County Blues, and I think that's when S2 started to feel a bit of the pressure. Speaking on the Blues a little bit further, now that they're in the seat, they've finally get their first multi-goal game of the year. They're gonna feel like they deserve this. They're gonna feel like they want to keep moving further and further and further, and they're gonna want to push for as far as they can into this league. They've done so well in this Western Conference, now sitting at 500. They're going to use the tie at Colorado and now the win here tonight against S2 to propel them forward into the rest of this league. We have Mark Server down now with Christian Silva in his first game back. Let's hear his thoughts down from the field.
Mark Serber alongside Christian Silva. Congratulations on the win. How did it feel to get a proper 45 minutes in?
It felt great. Because of the situations happening, we needed to reach out to the depth of the squad, and I think it just shows how deep this team really is. We've got multiple players in multiple positions, so just shows the depth and versatility we have on this team.
In a 2-goal hole, what allowed you guys to come back and win that game?
I think it's just a belief. As a whole, we knew. I think we were strong enough to know, even though we went down, we were going to score. So once that first one came, floodgates were open. So,
well, Christian Silva, best of luck tomorrow against Ecuador. Enjoy that friendly, and then good luck in Arizona next week.
Thanks, man. Take care.
Great to have Christian Silva back playing in the first half as the Orange County Blues went the first 45 minutes 0-0 with S2. S2 came flying out of the starting gates in the second half, scoring 2 goals through Andrew Craven. But the Blues, with 5 unanswered goals, take all 3 points here at Anteater Stadium. And they will go on now to face off against Arizona United in Arizona next Saturday. But for now, for everybody at Liquid Event TV and at the USL YouTube page and the Orange County Blues, I'm Mark Serber saying good night from Anteater Stadium, where it finishes Orange County 5, S2 2.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.